and welcome friends. In the second presentation of Module 6, we wish to discuss about the various features of biomedical waste management. We'll discuss about basic objective of the biomedical waste management, functional elements of the biomedical waste management, introduction to QR code management systems. So as you learn the content, you will be able to explain basic objectives of biomedical waste management, elaborate functional elements of biomedical waste management, and explain the need of QR code management systems. In the first presentation, we discussed about the background of biomedical waste management. In continuation with that, here we can understand that various organisms like viruses, bacteria, parasites are causing variety of the diseases which have been listed in this second column, like AIDS, typhoid, cholera, certain malaria and such diseases. Their association is with certain component of the biomedical waste. So for example, infected needles, body fluids cause the infectious hepatitis, dengue and diseases that have been shown here. In the similar manner, human excreta as well as the body fluid showers are associated with a variety of the diseases, and hence it's very important to study the basic aspects of biomedical waste management system. As we consider certain statistics in our earlier presentation, and almost half of the tertiary facilities lack in proper biomedical waste management systems. Here, the data as demonstrated by Central Pollution Control Boards indicates that even not half of the agencies have applied for the authorization of biomedical waste management, whereas those who have applied almost have been authorized to establish biomedical waste management systems. Also, it is seen that this half of the agencies are unable to maintain the proper facilities, and hence the Pollution Control Board has issued show cause notices to almost 16,956 institutes. Also, the awareness has gone to such a level that continuous emission monitoring systems are established in some of the medical institutes. The concerns already we got introduced, and that can be considered under the various headings such as unhealthy surroundings, so backyards of the healthcare facilities. Here, every healthcare facility has to pay in order to manage the waste through certain agency with which that outsourcing is done, and hence so-called inert contents are thrown in open manner, so certain gloves, syringes can be seen, Each of them are associated with the acquired infections. So here, if we think of, say, this is certain water pond in which the wastes are thrown, but the same facility is being used as swimming pool by some children. In order to maintain all such facilities, there is a requirement of the enormous cost. So during this COVID situation, certain news was published on 23rd May 2022. Hospitals up to 5 beds have to pay the charges of rupees 1000 for their authorization to handle the biomedical waste. Those with 6 to 25 beds will have to shell out 1500, and between 26 to 50 will have to pay 3000. So always there is an increase in fees associated with the authorization, in addition to handling of the waste as well as cost associated with maintaining the staff and training the staff. Also, as we think of spread of this biomedical waste in various ways, there are certain community hazards as well as those who are always in contact with the medicinal facilities, those who are handling the medicines or the waste arising out of, have to face these occupational hazards. And hence, these are some of the important concerns to deal with for the better biomedical waste management. So, with this discussion now, it is very clear that biomedical waste management is essential because the waste can harmfully affect the health, leading to the serious implication to the people who get in touch with it, and hence we can define the objectives in this three manner, that is to provide uniform standards for the management of the biomedical waste so that there won't be much differentiation among the healthcare facilities, as well as to enhance the awareness to reduce the incidence of the healthcare worker and the public from contracting diseases. So with this objective, one will be able to establish control over the occupational hazards. In addition, there would be provision of the guidance to healthcare systems so that day by day there will be reduction in the waste production, and hence there will be reduction on the impact on the environment in terms of pollution. So typically we can consider this biomedical waste management system in terms of all the steps which starts from the collection till its disposal. So here, as you see, some segregation of the waste, storage of the waste, transportation of the waste, taking them to the requisite facilities, further transportation of the treated waste, which could be sent to certain recycling facilities, and ultimately the entire residue would be disposed through specially meant landfills. At each of these particular steps, the waste audit is must. What is being sent and what is being taken from point to point should be accounted for. This is essentially to protect the health, environment, or any adverse impact likely to occur because of the mishandling of biomedical waste. So this collection is the first point. It is the point of generation, the way we discuss for municipal solid waste. Usually for municipal solid waste, the waste generator itself works for the collection as well as the storage at the point. However, Here, for biomedical waste management, as we thought of involvement of the expertise, usually the collection, transportation, as well as the disposal is outsourced to certain agencies. The waste generation continuously goes on increasing, hence the capacity needs to be augmented. As well, it is quite probable that the vehicles may not function the way they are expected. Hence, the collection facilities need to be equipped through the tracking systems. The way we discussed about the color-coded containers, bags. So here, yellow bags meant for the incineration, red bags meant for the shredding or the recycling or the landfills. Certain white bags could be used in order to collect the sharp as well as the glass material that is treated and sent to certain hazardous treatment units. If the small clinics are not being served by the major vehicles, provision of the two-wheelers can be made for the collection. All the containers that are meant for collection should be enough sturdy without any leakage. Also, that should be operable by foot, and usually only 75% of its capacity should be utilized. For everyone's understanding, collection timings as well as the duty chart should be displayed at the dominant place. As well, the certification for dispatching should be clearly done by the person in charge of that particular healthcare facility. So, the containers which are made for the collection would be depending on the type of the waste to be handled. So, for sharps, it would be different than the one which is meant for certain cytotoxic waste. For liquid waste, it would be different, as well as the way we considered about yellow bags, red bags, blue bags. One can think of providing that kind of the container. Also, it would depend on the method of waste collection, handling as well as the movement, storage conditions, and treatment methods to be used. One thing is very common, that the container must remain intact throughout the collection, handling, moving, storing, and placing it in the treatment facilities. Segregation can be considered at a source. It is very important step as far as biomedical waste management system is concerned. Generally, this segregation is done in order to segregate infectious content from the non-infectious and hazardous category of the waste. So usually this hazardous and infectious content is 3 to 10%. However, rest of the 80 to 90% of the waste is manageable, and it will be getting infected because of these small infectious and hazardous content, and hence the segregation is very important step. It is also imperative to keep the value of this particular infectious waste away from the other waste, because the way I tried to mention here, that only the 3 to 10% of the content may ruin the remaining 90%, and hence it would unnecessarily increase the value to manage, and it will attract the proportionate money, and hence the segregation is must. As we discussed previously, the color coded systems need to be scrupulously used in order to signify the kind of the waste that is stored in that container. Also, As the waste is segregated, it may not be immediately transported. So some content needs to be transported immediately, some content needs to be transported within 48 hours, and some dry content could be stored for about 3 months. So there must be availability of the good storage unit until that waste is transported. This kind of a facility must be carefully designed to avoid the access to the general public, as well as must be provided with cautionary symbols as well as signs. The facility must be dry and secured area. It should be sheltered, as well as it should be placed away from water, wind, rodents, insects, as well as animals. So here, one of the layouts as suggested by WHO in 2014 is displayed here. So this is certain common waste facility, whereas adjacent to that, certain infectious waste storage is meant. So it is treated, it is transported to next unit where it is cleaned and disinfected, from where it would be transported to various facilities. So the one during the treatment is rejected can be sent to certain deep burial pits, which we'll discuss about subsequently. So the next step is of transportation. Preferably, this transportation means should be designed with separate service corridors inside the premises. The vehicle that we wish to use should be specially designed. It should be well covered, secured to avoid the contact with the atmosphere, to avoid the littering, to maintain the aesthetics. As we consider the inner surface of the vehicle, it should be smooth so that the cleanability can be easily maintained. It must have the adequate drainage as well as proper collection capacity. It should always be having its capacity in proportion with the volume of the waste to be handled. So this is the one label for transporting biomedical waste bags or containers. So it is clearly indicating what is the day, what is the generation, what is the category number, what is its quantity, who is sending it, who is expected to receive, the contact details of that, and in case of the emergency, to whom one should contact. Also, one must take enough precautions during the transit and exceptional circumstances. Say for example, if the vehicle is broken down, or if there is an accident. So under such circumstances, what should be done should be made very clear as far as the training of the staff is concerned. Biomedical waste treatment and disposal is another important aspect of biomedical waste management. So, treated biomedical waste means the waste generated in the hospitals and healthcare institutions which have been prescribed as treated in accordance with biomedical waste rules as amended from time to time. There are various treatment options, but that are not universally acceptable. Place wise, it could be different. Also, the variety of the rules recommend various treatment options based on the category of the waste. Say for example, obviously the hazardous waste needs to be treated in different manner as compared to the inert waste. Also, there must be proper control on these particular treatment aspects before their disposal, and hence standards for the treatment are published by pollution control authorities and that should be observed. These treatments refers to the procedures to eliminate the harmful effects of biomedical waste. One can think of incineration, autoclaving, eradication, and various variety of chemical treatments which should be discussed in our subsequent presentation. COVID has taught us many things. So, one more source was induced during the COVID is quarantine camps, homes, centers. So the waste generation was taken at a generation point at the variety of the sources. The way we considered about the essential steps of the biomedical waste management as segregation, storage. Here, this COVID-related waste was expected to be stored in double layered bags. And it was also coded with specific label like COVID-19. The way we considered about the 48 hours storage was not expected as far as the waste generation through COVID was concerned. So various color coded containers sent to chemical disinfection, weighed, and storage of that at certain temporary storage facility, transport, common biomedical waste treatment facility, and even the common treatment facility if there is not availability of common biomedical waste treatment facility within 75 kilometers. And subsequent treatment like autoclaving was suggested. Needless to say about the benefits of biomedical waste management system, it is fundamental task. It is very much essential to protect the public health, preservation of the resources as well as the ecosystem. It helps effective utilization of the raw material and decreases the handling of the waste, decreases occupational hazards, risks to the communities, incidences of the various diseases like HIV, AIDS. It also helps in eliminating illegal recycling of the medicines, syringes, injection needles, and other medical tools. This is one of the important aspects which is being used recently. So this is quick response code system. So CPCB has given the guidelines in order to track the biomedical waste. It helps to provide the daily check on the occupier as well as the common biomedical waste treatment facility. Mainly, it is meant for preventing the pilferages of biomedical waste at occupier and common biomedical waste treatment facility. It helps for the identification of the source of generation of the biomedical waste. In case of improper disposal, it keeps the record of the visit of the treatment facility to the occupier. It creates the real-time monitoring for the waste generation, collection, transportation, treatment and disposal. Also, it helps to maintaining all the records for quantifying at the generation point, transportation point, collection point, as well as even the disposal point. So, according to these guidelines, these QR codes are pre-printed in specific manner, which is showing the color coding, sequence number, name of healthcare facility, its PIN code, state code, the type of healthcare facility, as well as even the unique serial number of the healthcare facility. So in our day-to-day life, we are scanning these QR codes. So we know that how immediately one can access to the data, information, as well as facilitate the intended use, and hence one can make use of these QR codes very effectively. Also, this launching is expected through the mobile apps, that too working offline. It has got the capability of the GPS tracking. It gives the instant wet receipt, hence there is no chance of losing some kind of the waste in illegal way. Online payments are possible. These are specially designed by Central Pollution Control Board, hence the tampering is not possible. These are waterproof, so these are not degraded easily. The data is stored over the considerable time, at least for 5 years. Bluetoothing and the artificial intelligence systems can be incorporated in order to establish the better control. And here the important aspect is facilitation of maintaining the reports daily, monthly, annual as per the guidelines, as well as the manipulation of such reports is not possible, and hence the objectives that we discussed initially can be easily emphasized throughout the biomedical waste management system. So these are some of the basic steps: weighing, Bluetoothing, data is updated through variety of apps on the mobile. These are transported. Again, these are tracked through GPS. The quantity, quality, sender, place, time, etc., whatever that is recorded could be rescanned at common biomedical waste treatment facility site. If there is any gap, it can be easily tracked throughout the system, and hence the working of the QCMS is providing quite a better check as far as establishment of biomedical waste management practices are concerned. So, well friends, thanks for your attention. I hope the concepts that we discussed here are clear to you, and it would help you to understand the basic features of biomedical waste management. So, each of these particular waste management practices are governed by legislative provisions, and in coming presentation we will discuss about that. So bye till then, I wish you very happy learning. Thank you.